Here come funny cars. We're going to fire off with Paul Lee, the McLeod FTI machine, and the surfer, Jeff Diehl. The signal has gone out to light the first pair. Those little wispy clouds are helping drop the track temp. The new update on the track temp right now, 84 degrees. 84. We're talking Nitro Disneyland. As a general rule, for track temp with the Nitro cars, if you're between 80 and 95, man, hang on. As it gets warmer than that, yeah, you got to be careful. You got to make some adjustments. As it gets cooler than that, you got to make adjustments. But at 84 degrees, on a freshly prepped concrete starting line here at Wild Horse, ain't nobody got an excuse if you don't get down there. How about the real deal hot sauce? XL drywall. And the surfer, Jeff Diehl over on the right side, Paul Lee here on the left side of the racetrack. Neither driver was really overjoyed with their Pomona performance. Both of them obviously went rolling in there with the highest of hopes and expectations, and neither one of them exactly got what they were looking for. So the Silver Fern transmission, McLeod clutches hydraulics, Big Jim Overoffer down there on the crew chief roll. I spoke to him earlier in the weekend, and I said, you guys need to have like a exorcism or a seance or something. See if you can get the evil spirit out of your pit area. And he said, you know what? It's on me. He said, I'm the crew chief. I'm the one responsible. They feel pretty good about things right now. Let's find out if the adjustments they've made since we left California have put them in the right direction. Jeff over on the right side, his lovely wife Lisa out in front. The real deal, hot sauce, Nitro A-Go-Go. Again, qualifying here. The order based on what you did in Pomona. As I said, neither of these two wasn't exactly their best day at the office. So they get to be first. Come on, let's fire off Nitro qualifying with a couple of good runs. Paul's car moves over. Oh, and Jeff mows down the finish line. That is a double doink. 402, 288 comes up on the run. That will be disallowed. You see the 406 that comes up on the left side. That will also be disallowed. Jeff Diehl's run for crossing the center line, that's an automatic DQ. And when he doinked our orange blocks down there, his run is a disqualification. Now, when he hit those blocks, he stopped the clock in Paul Lee's lane as well. Watch it one more time from the far end of the racetrack. Man, Paul hit the gas. The thing washed out and headed right. He was off the throttle there. Now, here comes Diehl. It's drifting. He gets over the center line. He's got the flames down pretty early, but he hit the finish line both. The speed trap, which checks in at 934 feet, and the finish line at 1,000. That's a double doink and a DQ. And for those of you who might be wondering, those orange blocks that you see out there on the racetrack contain reflectors. The timing system used by the NHRA at all of our national event tracks, manufactured by a company called CompuLink. In the days of photocells and floodlights and that kind of stuff were long, long gone. There are infrared transceivers that mount on the outside of the wall that shoot the invisible beam out to a reflector in those orange blocks. Obviously, one on each side. When the cars go by, they break the beams, and that's where we get the 60-foot time, which is the gray block just past the Christmas tree, right there by the NHRA on Fox camera. The first orange block down on the racetrack is 330 feet. The first pair of blocks is the 8th mile, where they get time and speed. And then, of course, the next two blocks down there are the 1,000-foot finish line and speed trap, and that's the numbers that come up on the scoreboard. When Jeff Diehl hit the blocks, he effectively stopped both clocks because he knocked the reflectors out of Paul Lee's lane as well. That's why the Summit scoreboard said 406, but obviously that was not a correct time. So both those runs will be disallowed, and both of those teams will be basically starting from scratch again tomorrow. And just take a couple of minutes while we got the drag mat out there to pick up any of the orange confetti that ends up laid out there on the concrete. We will glue a couple of new blocks down. If you've been around drag racing as long as I have, you may recall back in the day when somebody would mow the finish line down like that, it might be an hour while they ran new wires and put new light fixtures and new photo cells and cleaned up all the glass. These days, just takes a few minutes. Glue down a couple of blocks, clean up the confetti, and we'll get right back after it. And that is all thanks to the CompuLink Corporation of Denver, Colorado. Safety Safari working their magic.